Hello there, Dave here again. We are in chapter 7 of Exodus, dealing with the plagues, the miracles that God did. Of course, Pharaoh's heart is constantly being hardened, and Moses is doing everything he can to convince the people of Israel that this is what God wants. He wants to free us. He's going to free us. All of these things are going to happen. The river Nile, the first plague, the Nile river turns to blood. Chapter 8. The second plague is frogs. Third plague is lice. Fourth plague is flies. Oh my gosh, so much there. And each one of the plagues is a direct attack on one of the gods or goddesses of Egypt. It's important to remember those things were real to the people. They weren't real. They were false gods, fake, idols and all that stuff, but they were real to the people. So they were seeing this stuff being undone. Moses was like, God is over all of this. He's going to be over all of this. More plagues on Egypt in chapter 9. Of course, the fifth plague is the livestock plague. Boils, sixth plague, hail, the seventh plague. Chapter 10, the plagues continue. We have locusts, that's plague 8. Plague 9 is darkness. And chapter 11, God announces the death of the firstborn. Now, you need to remember, this wasn't something that came about because it was a last-minute decision by God. God told Moses this was going to happen in the first place, that it's going to take the death of the firstborn of Egypt, the firstborn of everybody, if the blood is not put over the doorposts. In chapter 12, that's when God starts the Passover. Passover is extraordinarily important to the Jews, to the Hebrews, to the Christians, to any of us who are under the blood of Christ, because we put the blood over us as our salvation, as our protection against death itself. At any rate, so the whole unleavened bread, everything in there with the feasts starts there. And of course, the death of the firstborn. Israel finally gets to leave Egypt. And I know there was a lot there that we didn't cover clearly, but we need deeper study time for all of that. Just trying to do an overview here, guys. Stick with me. Exodus 13, God's instruction to Israel upon their departure. The firstborn belonged to God. They have the Feast of Unleavened Bread. This is how you're going to live. This is what you're going to do with your firstborn. This is how you're going to survive and to follow God. Israel journeys out of Egypt. Chapter 14 is the crossing of the Red Sea. And every Hollywood demonstration of this is amazing to me. I love every bit of it. But my favorite part of the crossing of the Red Sea isn't so much that all of Israel crossed it and that the Red Sea came down and all of the Egyptian army is gone after that, but that it says the ground was dry. That's more than just a random miracle. That more than just a random event, like the water just happened to dry up during that season. No. The ground was dry. God did that miracle of just literally taking the molecules of water out of the dirt and making it dry. That's incredible to me. More so than just the water being on both sides of you and walking the entire nation of Israel right through it. Anyway, chapter 15, the Song of Moses. The very first song recorded in the Bible is chapter 15, the Song of Moses. The Lord is a man of war who overthrows those who are against him. The people will hear and be afraid. Miriam and Moses' sister, and all of them lead the women into worship, because Moses' sister Miriam and brother Aaron come up a lot in the story. So you have to follow along with knowing who your characters are. And we are going to stop there. We'll do chapter 16 in the next video. God bless, my friends.